Welcome to today's bedtime meditation story, The River of Starlight. Deep in the valley where the mountains met the sky, a river flowed unlike any other. By day, its waters shimmered like glass, reflecting the emerald canopy of the towering trees. But at night, when the world hushed to a gentle stillness, the river transformed. Tiny specks of light, like fallen stars, drifted upon its surface, glowing softly as they traveled downstream. The villagers called it the River of Starlight, and it was said to carry the dreams of those who dared to listen. No one knew where the river's magic came from. Some believed it was a gift from the moon, a trail of its silver light left behind each night. Others whispered that it was a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds, where memories and wishes intertwined. But the oldest among them said nothing, only smiled, as if they knew the river's true secret, but understood that some things were meant to be discovered, not told. Emery had lived by the river's edge for as long as she could remember. As a child, she would sit by the banks, dipping her fingers into the cool water, watching the tiny lights swirl around her hands. She would make wishes, some small, like finding a smooth stone for her collection, and some big, like knowing what lay beyond the mountains. She used to believe the river whispered to her, telling her stories only she could hear. When she was young, she would press her ear to the water's surface and swear she could hear echoes of laughter, fragments of dreams floating past. The elders told her the river carried the voices of those who had once stood where she stood, their thoughts and wishes drifting along with the current. But as Emery grew older, she listened less. Life became filled with other things: tasks, responsibilities, the weight of expectations. The river, once her place of wonder, became just another part of the landscape. Until one evening, when the world felt especially heavy, and she found herself drawn back to its banks. The night air was warm, the sky stretching endlessly above her, painted in deep blues and silvers. The river gleamed in the darkness, its surface a dance of light and shadow. Emery knelt by the edge, her fingertips grazing the water. The glow pulsed gently around her skin, as if recognizing her after so long. She closed her eyes and listened. The night was filled with soft sounds, the rustling of leaves, the distant chirp of crickets, the gentle ripple of the current. And then, something else. A hum, quiet and familiar, like a voice she had once known. A single glowing ember floated toward her, pausing just before her fingertips. And then she felt it. Not words, but something deeper, something she had almost forgotten. A memory stirred within her, long buried beneath the rush of years. A promise she had once made to herself in the innocence of childhood, to never stop believing in wonder. Tears pricked at her eyes as she realized how far she had drifted from that promise. The river had not forgotten. It had been waiting for her to remember. She let her hand rest in the water, feeling the coolness wrap around her fingers. A deep breath filled her lungs, and as she exhaled, she felt something inside her loosen, something she hadn't even realized she had been holding. The weight, the worries, the endless questions. They all seemed smaller now, softened by the gentle pull of the current. She lay back on the grass, gazing up at the stars. The river's light flickered beside her, carrying whispers she couldn't quite understand, but somehow knew were meant for her. And for the first time in a long time, she let herself believe again. Believe in the magic that had always been there. Believe in the quiet messages the world leaves for those who are willing to listen. As she lay there, feeling the earth beneath her and the vast sky above, she realized something else. The river had never stopped speaking. She had only stopped hearing it. Emery closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you." The river carried her words away, blending them with the whispers of the stars. Now, as you prepare for sleep, take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Imagine yourself by the river of starlight, watching the gentle lights drift past. Let your thoughts become like the water, flowing, soft, at peace. Feel the weight of the day melting away, carried downstream, leaving you lighter, calmer. The stars above watch over you, their quiet glow reminding you that you are safe. You are held. You are exactly where you need to be. Rest now, and let the river carry you into dreams. Good night.